Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report. Kansas State, we're doing Saturday football, which starts in a little bit. We'll get them done, though, before we have our games. Kansas State is on the bye. Kansas will play Iowa State, who played Kansas State last week, or who played Texas Tech last week. Texas Tech beat them. The Cyclones have been very good, with the exception of last week. KU has won only one conference game and has struggled this year. That came against Houston, their one conference win. Now, this will be a tough one for the Jayhawks. Jalen Daniels hasn't played well this year. Running back Devin Neal has been good, really good. And Luke Grimm has been a player to watch out for. Defense Mart Granite, quarterback Cyclones. Kansas' defense's player to watch out for is Kobe Bryant. For the Iowa State Cyclones, Marvin Grant is the quarterback to watch out for on the Cyclones. Rico Beach is the running back. Carson Henson is the receiver. And Jalen Noe and Jimmy Cooper is a defensive player to watch out for. Game time for this game is at 2:30. Mizzou will play Oklahoma. Expect Brady Cook to be out. Confirmed last night on ESPN. Oklahoma comes in by 3-point favorites. Dwayne Payne will be the quarterback. J.R. Blood may also get some shots if Payne isn't. He's came in for Brady Cook. Tommy Locke is another option, senior. He looks very similar to an NFL. He doesn't look very similar to an NFL quarterback. His cousin, Drew Locke, who's way better, obviously. Running back Nate Norrell is questionable for the Tigers also. Marcus Carroll is a backup. Jamal Roberts didn't figure out how to run the ball last week. They just didn't figure out how to pass it. Luther Burden and Theo Weiss are also players to watch out for. Receiver Luther Burden is a future NFL player, but sometimes he gives up. And that leads to a lot of problems for Missouri. The team that would be picking Luther Burden must have that in mind when that he gives up on a lot of plays. He'll be drafted likely in round 1. Kick is at 6:45. Mizzou and Oklahoma. Notre Dame will play Florida State. Most disappointing team in Florida State in the country. They are 1-8. They were a top 10 team to start the season. Notre Dame is 7-1, and players to watch out for: Riley Leonard, running back Jeremiah Love, Brock Collins, and defensive player Hadway Cross. That's for Notre Dame. DJ Youngala, quarterback Lawrence Tufalea, and Junkie Douglas, wide receivers. Patrick Payton, the defensive player to watch out for. The Notre Dame is favored by 24.5 at home. Kick is at 6:30. Number 3, UGA will be the game of the day on 2:30. Or UGA, Ole Miss and UGA. UGA is number 3. Ole Miss is 16. UGA is only favored by 2.5. UGA leads all-time series 33-13. Watch out for players on Georgia. Carson Beck, Jason Dart will be a player to watch out for on Ole Miss. Parrish Tavis on Ole Miss. Travis Etienne will be the running back to watch out for Georgia. Receiver Aaron Smith. Trey Harris and receiver for will be Arius Smith to watch out for is on the Georgia. Cherry Smith is on Ole Miss, he already has 987 yards. Defensive player, Naza Steakhouse. He'll be looking to take some steakhouses from Jason Dart in the quarterback pressures. Chris Push is a defensive player to watch out for. Kick is at 2:30. Final team against the ranked team, LSU and Alabama. LSU is 11, Alabama is 15. Alabama has lost to Vanderbilt and Tennessee. LSU's 15, Alabama's 11, by the way. I got it a little screwed up. LSU lost last week to Texas A&M. And also lost to USC opening night. Alabama and LSU players to watch out for. LSU, Grant Newsom, Caden Drum, Kalen Lacey, and for defensive player, Harold Perkerson, linebacker. For the Tide, quarterback Jalen Moore. And for the rest of the Tide, Jack Miller, Ryan Williams, and cornerback Damari Jackson. Kick is at 6:30, the game of the night. And we went into some of Houston's players to watch out for is, first of all, Houston plays Auburn, Miles Kelly, LJ Cryer, players to watch out for. And that's the player, and also Jawan Roberts is a player to watch out for. And also Malik Wilson, also a senior, and Raymond Walker. Houston have kept a lot of their players from last year. Auburn players to watch out for, other than Kelly, Sycon Johnson, J.P. Page, and Denver Jones. That game begins at 8:30. Last night, Missouri beat Howard. Final score was, last night, to end Missouri's 22-game losing streak, Missouri gets past the Howard Bison. And last night, in KU's basketball game, KU leads big at halftime by a score of 98-88. Kansas led 53-38 before North Carolina storms back as normal. KU takes the game at home and closes off the run. Hunter Dickerson had 20, and Seth Timbrell had 19 in the loss to Kansas. Jones is also a player to watch out for the Cats. I had in previous Houston season, since they're the team we just talked about. They're plus 1,400, so I bet 100, I get 1,400 for their Houston. Simple as that. They win the national championship, I get 1,400. Players to watch out for on their team: LJ Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, Jamal Roberts, and Malik Wilson. Those are the 4 or 5 players I just gave you to watch out for. Their schedule looks like this. They will be in the Big 12. Houston is members of the Big 12. Hard game will be Auburn tonight. Alabama and Vegas, November 26th. Oklahoma State, December 30th in Oklahoma. BYU, January 4th. Kansas State, January 11th at Kansas State. Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas at KU, January 25th. Versus Baylor, February 10th. Arizona at Arizona. Texas Tech, February 24th. Versus Kansas, March 3rd. And versus Baylor at Baylor, March 8th. That does it for Houston. Let's see him on for Sam Sports Report.